In this video, I'm going to talk about coming to a fork in the road after losing my son, Yaver, and I mentioned this in my very first video. And so the fork in the road for me was that on one side was very much me giving up and saying that's it. As a result of losing my child, for me, means that I have no future. There's no going forward. There's no option. It's just not possible. And laying down my tools and saying, that's it, I'm done. And just waiting to die, actually. But then there was the other side of the fork. And that was very much about what my head was saying to my heart. My head was trying to logically and practically make something of this. When it was communicating with my heart was saying, well, heart was shattered into so many pieces. So it didn't actually make any sense on how to, I couldn't even see the pieces, let alone put anything together and make anything functioning again. That's actually how it felt. But these thoughts, there was a couple of profound thoughts. And the first one was, in order to honor my son, I need to live my life both completely and to the best of my ability. And the other profound thought was, I need to help others. But then I thought, how do I do that? How can I do that? It's very well thinking, but how do I make that happen? Where do I get the energy that I don't really have? Where do I get that drive, that ambition, that motivation? And I don't actually know what to do. I don't actually have any ideas either. So there's one day when I was with a cousin of mine, and we were just talking over coffee, and she got this leaflet out and she gave me it and said, I think this might be of use to you. And if my cousin ever watches this, she'll know that I'm talking about her. And the leaflet was about a bereavement charity that offer support to, mainly this particular charity was mainly aimed at women, and women who had experienced loss, any kind of loss of a loved one. And so later, at a later date, I actually made that phone call, spoke to a lovely lady at the charity, explained who I was, a little bit about myself, my story. I shared about, losing my son, Yaver. I talked about that. And after I'd sort of finished saying what I wanted to say, she said, okay, yes, you fit the criteria, and we will I will forward your details to someone, and a counsellor or a befriender will get in touch with you, and we can start the support from there. And I said, okay, that would be wonderful, thank you. But the reason actually why I'm calling is I actually wanted to know if I could join your team and help others. And there was a silence, and she said, okay, are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want to do? And this, we're talking 6-7 months after losing my son. And I said, yeah. I said, yeah, yes, absolutely. This is what I want to do. I'm pretty sure this is what I want to do. And she and she could hear me. She could hear my determination, and we said our goodbyes. We ended the call, and a few days later, I received my very first client. I received details about my client emailed to me, and I got in touch. And I can't obviously talk about any specifics on that, but my very first client. So I've been doing this now for 3.5 years. So my very first client was this amazing experience of this amazing woman who had lost her only child to murder, and it was so intense, those conversations. But it was almost like finding, meeting up with an old friend, and her saying something and me nodding, me saying something and her nodding, that I get you. I get, I'm speaking, we're speaking the same language, and we understand. And oh my goodness, that was, I thought, yeah, this makes sense. This is a direction I think I can go in. No amount of money can ever give you what this gives you. Words of when someone says, "Thank you, Ghazala, you reached out in my very darkest moment, my darkest time, where I didn't know whether I was going to live or die, and you reached out." And sometimes you feel, well, I haven't actually done anything. All I've done is I'm here. I've made myself present, and I'm here 100%. And that's all I've done. But I think that's probably all that person at that time needs, is someone to be present. And you can only sort of tell your story possibly a handful of times to people that are around you, people, your family, close friends, relatives. You can't keep telling the same story again and again. That's really hard for the other people to listen to, unless it's somebody exceptional who is maybe trained in that and possibly can sit and listen to you. But otherwise, you just feel like you're a burden on others, and you're just, dragging them down along with yourself. And this way, it felt that I can be in a room with people who want to talk about the same thing, want to talk about children. And sometimes, I remember saying that, it's your son or your daughter and my son who have brought us together. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And so, yeah, it is. So it just gives so much. It just gives so much meaning and purpose and direction, and putting this world and this life into perspective. It really does that for me. So wouldn't change it for the world. I can't ever imagine not doing it or stopping doing it. I just couldn't imagine doing that. And sometimes you just have to throw yourself into something new, like this, YouTube was something that I thought about, but never actually posted a video until sort of now. I think a year ago, I opened my laptop and made an account, made a channel, and then just left it. So yeah, sometimes you just have to take that first step, and then this feels right. So that's why I want to do it. The other thing I did do is I started up a charity in my son's name as well. I wanted to reach out and help out, if I could help other young men, but adults as well, who have a heart condition. So we raised money, and yeah, we've done some good work with that too. And hopefully we go on to doing some bigger and better things with that. So when it comes to this channel, I would like where I actually want it to go is maybe we can the thing is that if no one watches this video, that's okay too, because this is therapeutic for me, and this is maybe a way of journaling, and maybe it's a little bit odd, I'm sitting here talking to my phone, which seems a bit bizarre, but I think as I get used to it, and the way to do it for me is to visualize, not my phone, but to visualize, you out there, the kind of person that I would like this video to go to. And that person is somebody who is maybe struggling or even suffering. Suffering's a harsh word, but strong word, but possibly even suffering. And if I can reach out to you and say, you're not alone. If this channel could lead to building up a community where you can sort of check in. I've even thought about a name for that. I've thought about the Heart and Soul Cafe, and who knows, we might get on with that, and that would be just brilliant. Absolutely, I'd be so proud if we can do that. So again, if you saw my first video, thank you for watching that, and thank you for watching this one. I will go on to making more videos about. I think my next video will be about that trauma that I experienced, because I was there the final moments when my son passed away, and I was performing CPR. But I lost my son that day, and trauma is something that affects so many of us, and it's not just something that we associate with people in the armed forces or soldiers. Lots of people can experience trauma. Even, well, I'll talk about trauma when I come to that video. But otherwise, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Let's hopefully build a community together. That would mean so much to me. Don't struggle in silence. Don't suffer in silence. Reach out. You will find people out there that are experiencing similar things to yourself. So you're not alone. Thank you for listening. It means so much to me. Thank you.